To all listeners, today what I'm going to talk about is the present situation in the Philippines under COVID-19 tilted the government during pandemic and its mishaps. In the Philippines, prior to the confirmation of the first COVID-19 case last January 30, 2020, with a 38-year-old female from Wuhan, China testing positive for the coronavirus, various sectors have already called on the government to impose safety measures or travel restrictions from countries or foreign cities that are severely affected with the virus like China. However, the government dismissed the calling order not to hurt the diplomatic relation with China. The president assured the people that everything is well in the country and that funds are available. But things began to crumble when the first local transmission occurred in the first week of March. There are no command center to deal with the crisis. All this exposed the empty pronouncements of readiness and complacency. When the government finally organized the inter-agent task force, it constituted a group to implement the National Action Plan. The IATF's most visible official is a cabinet secretary who is not a medical professional. The implementers of NAP are all active and retired military and police generals. The Department of Health does not have an active role in this implementation, despite a provision in the Administrative Code which mandates the DOH as the focal agency in a national health emergency. Instead, the DOH is reduced to making announcements on the statistics of COVID-19 cases and related concerns. On March 17, President Duterte declared the enhanced community quarantine in the whole island of Luzon. The people were told to stay home and the use of private and public transportation were suspended. Commercial establishments were closed and checkpoints set out to seal off city borders, leaving everybody's life and the economy in limbo. Checkpoints are manned by AFP and PNP personnel with insufficient personal or protective equipment against the virus. This was made without any ready guidelines on some basic factors, such as what will happen to the employment status of the workers who cannot report to work. The government did not even consider in the beginning how the medical frontliners will be able to report to their respective hospitals when public transport was suspended. This made doctors and other frontliners to walk across cities to reach their duty stations. Only upon mounting pressures on the social media that these concerns were addressed. An extension of the quarantine to the end of April has made the situation even more serious. On April 5, 19 vendors were arrested for illegal selling. Another incident was on April 1, when more than 100 people from the city slums of Sitio San Roque gathered on a nearby highway to voice their discontent and demand food and aid. 21 of those hungry protesters were beaten and arrested by the police. In the last week of March, President Duterte announced a large economic relief package of 200 billion pesos for low-income families, called the Social Amelioration Program. With procedural problems in the Department of Social Welfare and Development, there are constant complaints of the SAP not reaching its intended beneficiaries. The local government units were ordered to respond and forced to use their respective calamity funds as they were threatened that any inaction will be dealt with lawsuits. It wasn't until April 14 that DOH started mass testing to rectify their errors. Majority of the testing centers are still in Metro Manila, while only 6 are located in the province. Some cities say present efforts are still insufficient. We should be testing for all, not only by priority. The whole world is looking forward to a return to some normalcy, but wait, what makes the Philippine government one of the worst examples of handling the pandemic is its competence, coupled with militarism throughout its responses.